It's Mexican cuisine with a hint of South Korean flavor. But is that all it takes to make for a good angle? Today we'll find out. It's Keith versus a Korean burrito today on Wrangle's Angle. This year on Wrangle's Angle, I told myself that we need to film more on-location episodes because it's more exciting than filming in the house. That's where the views are. So today, we're going to a place called Gangnam Market, a hip new Asian supermarket in Chicago. And I know, that alone sounds exciting. But inside their food court, they have a place that sells a Korean burrito. And if that's not clickbait, well, I don't know what is. I don't know, maybe me eating a burrito without my shirt on? No, I don't think the manager would be up for that. He was nice enough to say that I can come in and film my episode, so... Oh, speaking of which, he told me to be there at 10:30. You better get going. Today, we're going to Chicago's hottest new Asian supermarket, Gangnam Market. We're inside their food court. They have a place called Gangnam Taco, a place that sells food with a Korean-Mexican fusion. Just enough to make me excited, but of course, we had to drive there first. But Gangnam Market's parking was kinda confusing, so I just reserved a parking space online again like I always do. I sense a potential sponsorship opportunity. Big, bright, and early trip to the city this Sunday morning. I even got honked at. But Lord knows it would be a much busier expressway if it was a weekday morning for everybody's morning commute. But that's enough of me talking. Let's head over to Gangnam Market. I heard they got a Korean burrito. So here we are on our quest for a Korean burrito. Something I don't think most people waking up on Sunday mornings think about. But we took in the fact that we were filming in Chicago again. A city with lots of, should I say, personality. Interesting looking architecture too. But we finally reached our destination. A bit of interesting architecture in itself, Gangnam Market. But let me tell you, it's on the inside where you'll find Chicago's hottest new Asian supermarket. So let's go inside. Before we go inside their food court and eat, let's look around. One thing I noticed first is how nice and modern it looks. I love those neon signs. And though Gangnam is a region in South Korea, Gangnam Market carries food from all over Asia. But don't worry, Italian folks, they got you too. Heck, they even got a section for my people. Oh man. But just like any good grocery store, you'll find milk, juice, and even a liquor section. But while it's easy to get lost in the awesomeness of this store, let's get to that food court to find our Korean burrito. And here we are. Looks like it's nice and busy too. You'll find people enjoying things like baked goods and sandwiches, sushi, and even boba tea. But this is Gangnam Taco, a place that serves tacos, burritos, and nachos with a Korean kick. Now I looked at the menu online prior, and I think I'll start off with their spicy pork nachos. And for the main dish, I'll try their Bulgogi Steak Burrito. This is Andy. He's going to be helping us out. Since we've been talking so much about that Korean burrito, we'll do that first. First, we heat up a nice large tortilla. Then he'll add the bulgogi, a nice Korean style of marinated beef. Then goes in the Korean kimchi fried rice. By the way, kimchi is a Korean dish usually made with fermented Napa cabbage or Korean radish and a wide variety of Korean seasonings to add flavor. Then goes in the sour cream. Then goes in the Korean gochujang mayo. For the record, gochujang is a Korean sweetened spicy chili paste. Then he adds the kimchi salad. And then of course your cheese, lettuce, carrots, and green onion. He wraps it up and heats it up a little more. Then, of course, cuts it in half. Now there's our Korean burrito. Then he makes our nachos with spicy pork, nacho cheese, and lots of similar ingredients to the burrito. Then we can finally sit down and enjoy. First, we started off with the nachos. Now I must say, it's really hard to screw up good nachos. But of course, they were delicious. So much so that I kept eating them. Heck, I almost forgot about my burrito. But now's the part you've been waiting for, our Korean Bulgogi Burrito. Now I started off with a decent sized bite. And remember, there was a lot going on in this burrito. But me being curious, I kept going. I really wanted to make sure I was tasting everything. Now I'm not saying it doesn't work, but I don't think I'm tasting enough meat. But like I said, there was a lot going on in this burrito. It wasn't bad by any means, but I just wasn't feeling it. I can usually recommend just about anything, but this just wasn't for me, sadly. I ended up going back to my nachos, cause I really liked those. But as for the burrito, I don't think I would order it again. And it's a shame, cause I really wanted to like it. Heck, I love this entire building. I walked around some more, and I even ordered some boba tea, which I love. And we'll get into more detail of what I didn't like about the Korean burrito in just a second. But first, I had to drive home and really think about it. You know, I had a feeling that we would get to tacos or even burritos at some point on this channel, but I never would have guessed that it would be Mexican food with a Korean influence. We'll get into that in just a little bit. In the meantime, if you're enjoying the video so far, just remember, Wrangle's Angle is sponsored by you, so consider leaving me a cash donation today so I can keep making more episodes. Or you could just hit subscribe. Or if you prefer something tangible, remember, we got Wrangle's Angle t-shirts. And in just a few moments, I'll tell you where to get one. But in the meantime, we're gonna let Keith enjoy his ride home, but let's take a look at those results. Honestly, I found Gangnam Taco's Korean burrito to be not my cup of tea. There was a lot going on inside of it. Not necessarily that it can't work, but I kind of felt the proportions of everything were just kind of off. For the record, I liked the beef and the kimchi flavors. In fact, I wouldn't mind the beef or even the kimchi in another dish, but I just don't think I'd order that burrito again. It's a good idea on paper, but honestly, I don't recommend it. But the nachos fared a little better for me. Those worked, and maybe because they felt a little closer to the nachos that I'm used to having. So I have to separately say, I recommend the nachos, but not the burrito. As far as Gangnam Market as a whole, I loved it. Very modern look and feel, with a great selection. And while I didn't care for the burrito, I'm pretty sure I liked everything else. I'd definitely return to order a sandwich, sushi, boba, or even just a shop. I may have had mixed feelings about my lunch, but as far as Gangnam Market as a whole, I recommend them as a store. And that is the Wrangle's Angle on that one. I want to make it very clear, I have absolutely no regrets about going to Gangnam Market, but next time I go to their food court, I think I would order something a little different. Maybe some sushi, perhaps even just the nachos. As far as that burrito, I just couldn't get into it, but hey, at least we tried it. And while I may criticize, here at Wrangle's Angle, we focus on the love. Get it? Honest criticism with love, get it? And that is the Wrangle's Angle on that one. But don't forget, we got more videos for you to watch on YouTube and Facebook. Remember, either way, it's .com/Wrangle's Angle. And when you're there, don't forget to hit subscribe, because we got more videos for you on the way, including on location food videos, because evidently, people just love it when I go on location and get food. And also, we finally got Wrangle's Angle t-shirts. That's right, Kobe.com/Wrangle's Angle is the official place to get official Wrangle's Angle merchandise, like the official Wrangle's Angle t-shirt. And when you're there, don't forget, Wrangle's Angle is sponsored by you. So consider leaving me a cash donation today, because Wrangle's Angle's free, and I like it that way. But just remember that your purchases and donations help me to make more of the content that you love. So consider leaving me a one-time or monthly donation today. And yes, monthly donations can be canceled at any time. It's all waiting for you at Ko-fi.com/Wrangle's Angle. That's ko-fi.com/Wrangle's Angle. And if you prefer, we're also on Cash App, PayPal, and Venmo as well. All you need is the username at the bottom of the screen. But before we go, before you watch more of my videos, a Korean burrito. That is definitely clickbait. And while I didn't like it, I certainly hope you still found this video to be enjoyable. At least more enjoyable than it would have been for me to eat a burrito without my shirt on, like a friend of mine suggested. Okay, so this was a suggestion of a friend of mine. At least I think he's my friend. So big shout out to Patrick and his wife, who I'd like to think are watching. I got my burrito, I got my shirt. This is called me eating a burrito without my shirt on. You know, I gotta be honest with you, I never thought I would stoop this low just to get a view, but, you know, gotta give the people what they want, right? So... What am I doing with my life? This
Burrito's pretty good, though.
Been disqualified.